Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Never Open Podcast, the podcast open to everyone, especially my man crush, Michael B. Jordan. My name is Luke. I'm your host of the Never Open Podcast, and with me, as always, is Mr. Andy. Hello, Mr. Andy.
It's Never Realm 37, Luke.
37! Clerks, my girlfriend's like,
I fed that to you so we could get that out of the way. So
you set them up and I'll fucking knock them down. Oh my goodness, it is Never Realm 37. So it does mean that we get to talk about everything and anything we want. And it does mean that we're guaranteed at least one listener. Her name is Charity. That's my wife. And she's like, I don't want to hear 2 hours of wrestling, but I will hear you guys just bullshit about anything you guys want. So she's supportive, but
I mean,
like
a measure of support is support nonetheless, and I appreciate people that are measured. So just saying,
Yes, I'm known for my measuredness. So no. No, I'm not. I'm still mad about Doki's debut. I'm glad for him, but I'm also like, that's what you did. What are you doing to my boy?
That's what Chris Charlton yelled when that happened. So just let that sink in there. So
man, I'm regurgitating Charlton now.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Something coming from the sky.
I'm very upset with
so
you.
Many ways.
It's like I'm disappointed in all that, but being far away from it doesn't make it any less disappointing. I time heals all wounds, but I don't know. The Doki wound is open and gaping, and it might be infected.
Yeah, it's right. This is my revenge for. This is New Japan's revenge for me beating dead horses way too long. I think Yo did some kind of fucking magic on us or something. I don't know. I'm blaming you.
You could blame me for my apathy too.
Yeah.
This is the price I pay. So.
So, I did something I haven't done in a while. Neither me or Charity, and we watched a movie that Ian months ago said, "Boys, you gotta watch this movie. It's fucking awesome." And he was right. Maybe not to the degree he thought. Like we're gonna talk about a movie that I'd give a solid 8-ish. 8.5 out of 10 if I was doing thing. It doesn't blow my mind. It's been one of the greatest horror films we've ever seen and stuff, but it's a really good movie with a lot to say. And I think sometimes it's more concerned with what it has to say than being a horror movie, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
But it's very confused about what it's trying to say too, I think.
Sometimes,
it's saying a lot of things and therefore saying everything. So maybe saying nothing.
So there's a gentleman named Ryan Coogler whose movies I am a big fan of. Black Panther is probably one of the better Marvel movies out there, with one of the better villains out there, played by my man crush, Mr. Michael B. Jordan. He also did 2 Rocky spin-off films, Creed and Creed 2. Both movies I love.
Those are fantastic movies. I watched those last year or the year before and was like, anyone who recommended that to me were idiots. That's why I never watched it. It was like the general Joe Schmo was like, oh, this movie's great. And I'm like, can't be any good. They were right.
It's got to be. Yeah, I've had that before. We're talking about Sinners, by the way. We'll get to it. But I've had that experience where someone whose movie tastes are not aligned with my own will say, this movie is fucking amazing. You should watch it. And then, I'll put it off. And then, stop clock is right twice a day, that kind of thing. So sometimes they're right. Yeah.
Well, I think that also speaks to this movie's ability to be enjoyed on different levels, which I'll be able to uniquely speak about. So,
I think we both can. It says a lot about stuff that we can empathize with and probably never understand because we're white dudes. But I think it also does a good job of bringing everybody in at the same time. Like as part of the film, and there's some beautiful moments.
I was talking about my experience watching it. I wasn't talking about
the film
what
itself.
the movie's about. So,
right. So, yeah, I'm a fan of Ryan Coogler, the director, and he's got another movie, Something Station. Send your letters to blah blah. I'm not looking it up, but all his movies are good. Almost all of them, or all of them, have Michael B. Jordan in them.
that's a good place to start, you know?
With Michael B.
Yeah, he's in the fucking Wire. Where's Wallace,
Too.
Where's Wallace? I mean,
Holy shit!
He's amazing. He's in Friday Night Lights. He's the kid from the new school and then Schools Merge. I mean, I think I saw him on The Wire first, then Friday Night Lights after that.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was in The Wire, and then you brought it up. I was like, wait a minute. Yes, yep. I can place him. Season 4, the school season, is that?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh well, no, he's in the beginning. He's in the first season because he's one of the kids that that D is working with or whatever at the very beginning. I mean, he's the
corner boy,
Mr. McNugget, the whole Mr. McNugget thing. That's him. So
oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. It's been a while since I watched The Wire, but The Wire is one of those shows where it's like Oz to me, another HBO show. I'll see actors from that, and I'll be like, they're from The Wire. That guy's from Oz. All that kind of stuff. So I watched Sinners. You, I'm assuming, watched it again because you told me you needed to watch it again.
I did.
Yeah. And
weird experience with this movie, but go ahead.
All right. So I'm a straight dude that has ish, I guess, now, because I have a couple man crushes. Kurt Russell's one of them. So what's better than having Michael B. Jordan in your movie? A very handsome man who's I don't mind watching. Having 2 of him. Said that to my wife. She's like, said to Charity, she's like, do I have to be careful here? I'm like, I'll never meet this man. And it's fine.
That'd be hilarious. Michael B. Jordan dumps his girlfriend or his wife and runs away with Luke from Australia. I would love that. Actually, I mean, like not for charity, of course. You know what I mean? That would be sad for her, but she'd get paid off, I'm sure.
Oh no, I don't want to think about who would get to see Wilma and not. But that doesn't go there. I'm not. No, that's too dark for me. So we watched this Dominion Day. So we watched this during the day before Dominion, and I had a really good time with it. It has a lot to say, both subtle and unsubtle, which is good. It's a beautiful movie to look at as well. It's well made.
Yeah, it's definitely.
And the characters stand out and they're distinctive, everything like that. And I think, let me just get a nitpick out of the way. I know there can be comparisons made to From Dusk Till Dawn, because suddenly it turns into a vampire movie. Mind you, they show you a bit of that at the start. But there's not as much like vampire action fighting as I thought there might be, like with everyone going, hey, stabby, it's action time. It's not as, it turned out to be a bit more character driven and character motivations and stuff than it did an actual horror fest.
There's gotta be a cut scene somewhere with those Native Americans at the beginning fucking up a bunch of vampires.
They never came back.
They never come back. That sucks.
I expected them to come back, and while we're going to spoil the shit out of Sinners, by the way, just in case people don't realize what we're going to do. We're going to spoil it. So if you haven't watched Sinners, I'd recommend it. It's a good movie. It's a really good movie.
I don't usually care about that, and usually I scoff when you say spoilers because I don't care. But man, this movie got spoiled for me. So, and I will at some point tell you about that experience, but it's really frustrating. So I had to watch it again.
Yeah.
But,
so do that. I know. Yeah, but it's pretty new, and I think it's an experience people should go in and check out.
I wish I could have seen it in the theater. I mean, I guess I could. This is a theater movie. I could tell.
Yeah.
Like, you could tell it's a theater movie. I'm watching on my little fucking computer screen, and I'm like, man, if this was bigger, I think it'd be so much better.
We watched it on the big telly, but you know, we rarely go to the movies anymore, and COVID broke us out of that habit. You know, when they started just putting movies up online, we can just watch these now, and then we just got comfortable just hitting the pause button, having a bathroom break anytime we want, you know, all that kind of stuff. So we never got back into the habit of, wow, we've been to the movie since, but you know, it's very rare now. So yeah, when you mention those Native Americans, when the vampires are finally allowed into the juke joint and they start attacking Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo and everybody else, I expected maybe a rear guard of the Native Americans to be like, hey, they're fighting, let's go save them, you know, all this kind of stuff. But no, you never see or hear from them ever again.
We could have got a flashback to how, because the very first vampire we see is running from them, right? And that's the main vampire. Well, all the rest of his buddies have been killed, and he's the last one, I guess. So, like, where's that scene? You know what I mean? We could have had that scene later, you know, especially when someone became a vampire. We could have, like, because there's this concept in the movie where the vampires, like, gain all your knowledge. When you become a vampire, they gain all your knowledge, and they want all your knowledge, right? And they want who you are. They want to assimilate you, is the, you know, it's kind of an obvious metaphor for assimilation and all that stuff. But I don't remember where I was going with that. But there's
to me, it was like the white vampire sucking the, I guess, the talent and the soul out of black people's music and things like that.
Yeah,
but you know,
but he's Irish, and it happened to him too.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the thing, is that it's like, it's the vampirism is the evil. It's not like the, you know, well, there are the, you know, the KKK guys are also evil, but
you get that satisfying ending
no reason, so.
with those guys getting
for good reason. For good reason.
For good reason. Yeah, absolutely. But I actually really appreciated that he was an Irish gentleman who got to tell his part of the story, because, you know, I'm a white dude. I can watch things about, you know, racist times and things. I can empathize with the people being oppressed and all that kind of stuff. But I'll never fully understand all that stuff. I never will. I'm a white dude. But to kind of bring maybe people in with some of that, to try to empathize with it with even more. The main vampire dude is an Irish gentleman whose country and all that stuff was oppressed by England and all that kind of stuff. So I thought it was a nice touch, and there's two sequences in this film that I adore, and I think they would have been even better on a big screen, even watch decent sized telly. But you know what I mean. You were right.
Yeah.
In some aspects, you got to see this on
some of it was filmed in IMAX too, and apparently it was like fantastic on IMAX. So
yeah. So someone mentions in the film that some people have the power of music, that you'll see the past, the present, and the future. And I said to Charity, wouldn't it be cool if I was kind of wrong with how they did it, but I was like, wouldn't it be cool if suddenly he starts singing a song that's like from modern day or something like that? Instead, it turns out in the juke joint to be this beautiful, awesome sequence of what's this? The gentleman, Preacher Boy. That's his nickname. I can't remember his real name, but everyone calls him Preacher Boy. He starts playing this really cool tune, and then, you know, it's intermixed with music from the past, with this like tribal drums and things like that, and music from the future. There's like hip hop beats, and there's like electronic flashes, and there's like really electric guitars and things like that, and everyone's kind of dancing around, and there's people from all eras, just kind of. And I thought that sequence was freaking amazing. It's my favorite part of the film. If I wasn't watching it with Charity, I would have automatically rewound it a dozen times just to watch it again and again and again and again and again. So what do you think of that sequence, by the way?
I like it. I like that the barn burned to the ground too while they're dancing. It's all this huge like metaphor
Because they're burning
thing,
the
you
roof
know?
off this joint,
Yeah.
man. It was
So
awesome touch.
Plus, isn't that what happens? Doesn't the barn burn down
Mm.
eventually? So they're also seeing the future, you know, at the same time. The guitar player in this movie, I mean, that's the part that when I first watched it the first time, I just didn't connect with it all because I wasn't paying very close attention. But the guitar player shit is awesome. He's really the main character, you know,
Yeah.
and his like the playing is real. You know, I mean, they didn't record him playing while he's standing there out in the field, but I mean, you know, he's really playing in the car. You can see like he's actually got the chords down, stuff like that. And every time music happens, like I don't remember the term for it, but when music's actually happening in the story, not like if they're listening to music, a record's playing, like when it's actually happening, it's like amazing. The movie comes to life. Like it comes to life with this music stuff, and it's incredible. There's amazing scenes. There's that scene. There's the scene in the car where they give him the guitar, and he's like, "Oh, I really like playing this guitar." He's like, "Well, you got it right now. Why don't you play something for me while they're on the car ride?" And he plays just a little bit, and it's great. And Michael B. Jordan's like reaction to it is like, "Yeah, that's what I was thinking." You know, I was just like, because he's like, "Yeah, that's awesome." But he also is thinking about all the money he's going to make too.
Oh
but
yeah, of
at
course.
the same
Dollar
time,
signs in his eyes.
it's like it really this movie does a great job of using visual and music to convey emotions in ways that like are strong and powerful, you know. And I think it really excels at that. And like I I think that the only problem I think is it's like it's so much. It's just everything. This movie is everything. It's like it's about everything. It could be about this, about that. So it's kind of like a tapestry, just like America. You know what I mean? Or America's supposed to be. And you know, I think that like you know, you just that scene specifically, it will be remembered for sure. That and also the scene where the lady just walks across the street at the beginning. That's another thing this movie does really good at. There's parts where someone just walks across the street and it's fucking awesome. Like this, there's an Asian shopkeeper. So we get the point of view of the Asians as well a little bit. And she is like, he shows up there to buy, Michael B. Jordan shows up there to buy something for the party, sign, all this stuff that they only have red ink, by the way, which is funny. So it looks like blood when they make the sign. But anyway, and he talks to this guy, and he's like, "Yeah, I gotta ask my wife, or go ask the wife." And this lady walks across the street to a competing store across the street that they also own, which is hilarious.
Oh yeah.
And she gets the wife, but while that's happening, there is an amazing choreographed sequence of just a town happening, and it's like they just follow her across the street, and it is like this is what movies used to be, man. This took a lot of work, and those kinds of things I really appreciated. I really like the music scene, to answer your question. Like
It's a really well made scene, those scenes, because there's lots of long shots without edits. So it's the camera's moving back and forth, side to side, all this kind of stuff, and it's taking in this breathtaking looking old 1932 town and everything like that. And the details are wonderful. There's a real attention to detail with all that stuff that I like. I think the other sequence I found also memorable. It's not as cool, but it's pretty close. And it was for me when the Irish vampire and the other vampires are he's doing the Irish dancing and the Irish song.
Yeah,
I thought that was fucking awesome too.
I agree.
Like there's I you know, for some reason I every time I saw the white people with guitar, I was like, are they gonna make these guys lame by comparison? And no, they didn't. Not at all. They made them different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so they every time they play, it's good. It's just different. It's apples and oranges, man. So it's like so I definitely appreciated that the makers of this film didn't just have the attention to detail with this side of things. They also had it with this side of things and all that kind of stuff too. The preacher's son's name is Sammy, so I don't feel comfortable saying preacher boy, so I'll call him Sammy from now on. He is named that, so and everyone calls him that. So like, yeah, but you know what I mean. So it is, and it has one of my favorite character actors of all time in it, Mr. Delroy Lindo, and he is absolutely fantastic as this drunk harmonica piano player guy. I love
like
the scene where
when
they meet him in the train
yeah,
station as well.
this negotiating is funny.
Because Sammy starts playing guitar and he's like, "I'll fucking cut you if you start playing in my corner. This is where I play music, motherfucker. This is where I earn like my busking tips and stuff like that." And I had it. There's a few instances like that. One of the Michael B. Jordan twins is talking to this young girl, and he's like, "I'll give you 10 cents every minute or something like that for every minute you look after my truck for me." And she's like, "Okay, no. Let me teach you the art of haggling." My brain always goes to the life of Brian. Won't haggle, So he teaches her the art of haggling and things like that. And that's part of this movie, just the art of the haggle, I guess, which is just cool. I like a lot of it. I wanted, I think, more horror. I like the social commentary. I like the cultural stuff from the black people's perspective, the white people's perspective. And I mean white people's perspective from like the Irish vampire and stuff. Like the KKK guys can fuck right off.
We get their perspective though, and
we do.
It goes up in a hail of bullets. So,
and you know what? That's a thing that I did appreciate. I was hoping for some kind of, all right, not over the top cheese fest from Dusk Till Dawn, but I was hoping for maybe a bit more something action freaking packed. And I didn't get it, but I did get the satisfying ending of seeing one of the Smokestack twins, played by Michael B. Jordan, blasting away a lot of KKK members. I was like, you know what? I'm allow this. I didn't get this part of it. You know what? I got to see a lot of racists get freaking blasted.
Big shootout at the
very
end,
satisfying.
So the brothers fought in World War One. So they are gangsters, by the way. They are gangsters, but they're like gangsters with a heart of gold, right? And they love each other, and they love the people in their lives, and they want to do the best for people. But they also shoot some guy in the ass for trying to steal from their truck, and they kill people on the wreck. So it's like that's who they are. But like for me, the movie starts off as this awesome period movie where I'm into this juke joint. They're gonna make a juke joint, and I want them to get it, and I'm invested in the secret of like the mystery of how they got the money to do the juke joint. Why do they have Irish beer? Why do they keep saying Irish beer? You know what I mean? Specifically, they have been taking
Italian wine.
They were in Chicago, and they robbed the gangsters in Chicago, came down to the Mississippi Delta, and that's where this is taking place. And like everyone who's wise to them, or like pretty much every woman in the movie knows what they're up to. You know what I mean? And knows that and everybody else all the men are just yes men, and they just kind of fall in line behind the twins. But so I like the setup. There's a really cool detail I noticed too in the town. It's not old looking. You know, it's middle-aged looking as a town. Like shit's not all dirty necessarily and looks like it's been there for 100 years because it hasn't. You know what I mean?
I turned to Charity. I was like, I like how clean this looks.
Yeah.
And cool. She gave me this look, and I was like, well, it's 1932. This town's not like if it was made in if it was set in now, yeah, it would look a bit more run down and grimy, but it's not. So everything has this kind of crisp kind of cleanness to it. That's what I appreciated when I watched the Harrison Ford Yellowstone prequel.
Oh yeah.
They didn't go for that. Hey, everything's because it's set in olden times, we're going to make everything look old.
Yeah.
No.
And dirty and run down like the people don't give a fuck.
No, because no, it's a lot of great female characters in this movie too, by the way.
Yeah,
very strong, all very strong, and in all kinds of different ways, and allows this movie to be pretty sexy. Like it's a very sexy movie.
I've heard other people describe this as a sexy movie, and it sounds so weird. people say
It does,
because
yeah.
it's all been white guys, middle-aged white guys that I've heard say that. I'm just like,
Oh my god!
but
I'm sorry to
but
add to the pile,
that's all
but
right. That's all right.
I
I
like
mean,
being
that's a,
titillated, Mr. Andy,
I
and
get it. Yeah.
I like fire, titillation, and action. Like if your movie has all three, you got a
Yeah, it's
freaking
got
certified. I'm a simple man.
But okay, so do you like the movie The Thing? You like
John
that movie,
Carpenter,
right? Yeah, right.
Kurt
That's a great
Russell,
movie, you know.
Kurt
You were talking
Russell,
about Kurt Russell
Keith
earlier. Yeah,
David,
so they
fucking
they
amazing.
kind of reenact the movie The Thing right
Eat
in
the
the
garlic.
middle of this movie, which is I really like that. But that's where the movie kind of lost me was after like in that shenanigans. Like I kind of it loses because the specificity goes away. I love that word lately, but the like all the details and cool shit that makes the beginning great. There is very little detail in the last parts of all the fighting and stuff. I mean, there is a pack full. Like there's a scene with all the people eating garlic, and then there's a scene where the lady goes, "Okay, come on in, you motherfuckers," and all the vampires are allowed to come in, and we see all kinds of people fighting, but none of them were eating the garlic. Who were they? there's a lot of cannon fodder around and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
that's in the periphery that is not detailed. That's why I said this movie's everything because it has extreme detail that is like amazing, and then it has like shitty action that's like you don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? So it has both things, and everything else too. That's good action too.
I think when you look at it, when I look at it as a whole, I have this feeling of I'm allowed this. I think as a whole, it all works. Now, you know, if I'm watching a movie I don't gel with, I will see things that I can nitpick, and then that it unravels. You know, then I've got this thing that nitpicks, then I've got this thing and this thing. When I watch a movie that I think is pretty damn good, I will see that and be like, "Hey, didn't they eat garlic? So shouldn't that affect the vampires who try to eat them? Like, shouldn't that happen? Like, what's going on here?"
That's
you know, something stuff like that. But they're little things that don't, you know,
to me,
disrupt the whole.
A character's just appearing and reappearing for the sake of being killed. That's not like, I guess that's a little thing, but there is a cool detail that I did not catch the first time. Like I didn't catch any details first time. So second time I watched it, that lady. Okay, so I think there's Smoke and then there's the other guy. I'm pretty sure it's the other Stack. Okay, him.
The Smokestack twins.
All right, Stack. So he visits like his wife or his former lover or something, and they had a child together that died, right? And so he visits her, and she gives him some like pouch thing. And it's like a split second, you don't even notice it. And at the very end of the movie, when his twin brother, well, not end, but close to the end of the movie, when his brother's trying to bite him, he can't bite him because he's got this like magic thing under his neck that's like, it's probably got garlic in it or some shit, right? It's such a quick thing that I didn't notice it until at the end when he's like getting ready to die. He takes it off and looks at it and puts it in his pocket or something like that. So I was like, oh, there's that thing. Because that scene what happened so fast. The action happened so fast that I don't even know what happened. I had to watch it twice. So.
I love that character. She wasn't just Smoke's kind of love interest and stuff. She also felt like, I don't know, it's going to sound creepy. I don't mean it to, because it's really well done in the film, and she's a fucking amazing character. But she's also maybe a bit of a mother figure as well. Definitely. In a way.
Yeah.
Not biologically. Everyone don't freak out.
But they talk about his mother together, right, and stuff like that.
Their mother died young, and she and this woman helped raise them. And you know, maybe this was Smoke's first love, you know, that kind of thing, and all that. I liked it. It was really well done. I get it with that. The vampire action. I thought the garlic, now that they've eaten it, that would make them kind of sour or whatever, and no one would want to bite them and stuff.
That would have been cool, you know.
You know, so you could have more of this kind of straight up knockdown, drag him out fight. And like, look, I'm not expecting Tom Savini to open his cock rocket gun up and shoot people. Like, that's not what this movie is. There's not a massive amount of cheese in this movie, you know. But you can kind of maybe put a little bit of cheese in it with the vampire fight. Like, it's fine. Like, it's vampires, right?
Yeah.
They're not real. Put a bit of cheese in there. I like cheese, but they're not going for that. I think it's they're trying to just use more vampires as allegories and things for stuff rather than, you know, metaphors and things rather than be an outright horror movie. So I don't mind. I feel like more of it works than doesn't. So whilst I did have that lingering feeling of, oh, that's vampire fight's over, okay. All right, then I get to see some KKK members get blasted. And I'm like, all right, yeah, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Now, it depends on how it's done. Sometimes I'm into it, sometimes I'm not. Horror movie, fuck Marvel did not popularize this shit. This has been a horror movie staple for fucking decades. And that is credits roll. And I'm like, all right, Charity, you reckon they'll try to sequel bait us here somehow? Because, you know, horror movies do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm watching the credits. You reckon I'll do that? And here we go. We're in 1992. We've got Sammy, who's got a scarred face and all that. He's like the lone survivor of the juke joint stuff. He became like a really famous blues guitarist. Just think like, oh, my blind's blanking. Famous blues guitarist, go.
Well, this is a specific one. You know, it's let's see here. What's his name? I got him looked up because I went blank there too. He's the polka dot guy, Buddy Guy. That's his name. Buddy Guy, famous for playing a polka dot Strat. He's not playing his polka dot Strat here, but it's really him, and he's really playing, and it's like, and it sounds really modern. And when the brother walks in, he goes, "I don't like much of your electric shit." He said, which I was like, me either. That's great. Although Buddy Guy is pretty much only known for playing electric guitar. So.
Yeah, it made me remember like that uproar that Dylan fans had in the '60s,
right?
when suddenly he's playing electric guitar.
Dude. The owner of the Indianapolis Colts recently died, Jim Irsay, a noted mad lad. He also has the most insane guitar collection ever, and he owns that guitar that Bob Dylan played at the Newport Jazz Festival. He owns like everything like that. It's like if it happened and it was like on, he owns Ringo Starr's drum set from the Ed Sullivan Show. You know,
shit.
Yeah, like crazy shit. And it's like, man, if you should like look up the Jim Irsay guitar collection. It's fucking insane.
See, that doesn't make me. That just reinforces this thing in my head of everybody is a nerd for something.
I mean,
yeah, I'm a big football playing jock. I'm a nerd for this. This is what I'm a nerd for, and I because he plays football, he's probably got fucking mega dollars. They can.
Well, he's a rich kid. He owned the team. He wasn't a player. So, but he just died, and that I don't know, just made me think of that because that happened. But yes. People do get mad about the going to electric thing sometimes in folk music. They used to.
It works for me with Dylan. I'm a huge Dylan fan, but you know that's just me. But
Neil Young, put the electric guitar down, dude.
I don't know, man. I want to keep on rocking in the free one.
No,
what are you talking about?
Not anymore, please.
Nope.
This song is trash.
To be honest, I like Pearl Jam's version better.
I hated when that happened. I love Pearl Jam, and then Neil Young comes in and ruins it, and I'm just like, "Fuck you, go away." Anyway, I love Harvest, and I love Harvest Moon. But
yeah,
that's the acoustic shit.
That's fair.
The electric.
So, what did you think of that scene where? All right, I thought, all right, so he became this famous blues guitarist. That's cool. Are they going to end it here or sequel baity-ish kind of stuff? And then the Michael B. Jordan brother, who I think it was Stack, who got turned into a vampire, and his missus, I don't know, the pop singer lady, walk in. She's a pop singer, isn't she?
I don't think so, but I don't know. I thought she was like just some actress.
Yeah,
Maybe you know
yeah,
more than me. I don't.
yeah. They walk into the joint where he's. Oh, they have to get invited in, of course, but they
Yeah.
walk in, and they're in very kind of like colorful, early 90s, late 80s kind of attire, and
Coogee sweater, man.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
And you know, he might look young, but all old people, all right, middle aged and beyond, they all like their old shit more than they like the new shit. So yeah, of course he's not going to like the electric stuff as much as the old kind of classic shit. I kind of I felt that a bit. I often wondered how old I'd be when I got set in my musical ways and not much new stuff would kind of permeate into my brain. 35, it turned out to be 35.
Yeah. Okay. I was like 25. That's what happened to me.
So sometimes those kind of scenes will annoy me. This time though, I was like, you know what? I like this. Yeah. Even this part had something to say about how music's changed and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, if they kill Sammy here though, I'm done. Mind you, the movie's over. But I'll be really mad if they kill him.
Yeah, it was to put him over and put over his he was
his
a good
life
man.
and career.
Right?
Yeah. It was really well done. And I like that Sammy's father, who is an actual preacher, saw blues music as this is the devil's music. And what do all old people think of young people's music? My parents hated rap.
Yeah.
My dad, I know he had a midlife crisis and got into it, but but you know what I mean? Like this stuff's not as good as when my parents didn't say rap was the devil's music, but it was the rap is crap. They're wrong, but there is that. So he's saying this,
West Texas Rednecks wrote that song, by the way. Rap is crap. That was in WCW. Jeff Jarrett, Mr. Perfect, a couple other
oh my
guys.
God, what a fucking deep cut. So yeah, I liked that too. And then I thought, all right, is there going to be an even more? And then I went straight to fast forward at the end of the credits. I went, yep, there's another scene with young Sammy playing in the church
in heaven.
Yeah, I am. You could read it like that. So yeah. I mean, for a movie that I regard it highly. I don't think it's like up there for me. It's some of the greatest horror movies I've ever seen, or anything like that. But it is a beautiful movie. It's well acted. It has a lot to say, and it says it well. Maybe not the horror aspects, but it has a lot to say, and it says it well. And I think it brings people in. In ways you might not expect. I'm sure there's people who just sit there and just be like, just watch it. I want to know how you got spoiled on Sinners.
So, like a month ago, 2 months ago, Ian told us it's awesome. So I had already avoided any kind of trailer. I saw a trailer in the theater, but I didn't pay any attention to it. I just knew it was some kind of maybe Jordan Peele type movie. That's all I knew. You know what I mean? And so
yeah.
That's kind of what it looked like from the original promo. But I did not know it was a vampire movie. And I didn't know anything about it except that it was Michael B. Jordan. It was going to be awesome. And Ian told me I liked it. So I avoided everything. And I was at a party and there was a bunch of drunk old people at the party, right? And man, they start talking about that movie, and I go, "Oh, it's awesome! You guys liked it?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, it's so great! Talks about the Black experience. You got to watch this thing." Meanwhile,
that's cringe, by the way. A bunch of white people saying that.
My black brother-in-law is standing right next to me, like, "See you guys later."
He
literally left the parties.
Yeah,
this conversation I'm about to tell you about. So I was trying to make a face at this people, okay, I didn't see it because they're like, "Oh, it's great. This happened, that happened, this happened. There's twins. It's a vampire movie. That they were saying characters' names and stuff like that." And I'm just like, So I didn't throw a fit or anything, but my sister she wants to see it too. And she was mad because they just pissed off my brother-in-law. So So anyway, eventually I was like, hey, I didn't see the movie. Oh, really? You got to see it. It's so good. It's got this, that. It was like that kind of thing, right? So I was mad. And there's a lot of like more details about that are not interesting, but my indignation is righteous. Trust me. It was a weird night, and there was a couple things that happened where like just kind of compounded this issue. So now I'm associating this movie with that, right?
Yeah.
So I watched it. But I watched it while I was doing other stuff, and I was drinking beer, and I was kind of drinking beer angrily a little bit.
Well, you got spoiled on it, so you figured like I'll just put it on to say that I've watched it.
Right.
I understand.
So I'm watching it, and I kind of just get lost. And at one point, I didn't even know they were twins, anymore because I forgot the spoilers.
How many beers deep were you? Jesus.
I had, well, like I said, I was also doing other things. You know what I mean? I wasn't standing in front of the TV. Luke, you may find this hard to believe, but the time that I sit here at the computer when you and I are talking is a lot of times the longest I will be sitting the whole day. So I don't like to sit down. So I don't like to sit down on the couch and watch a movie unless it's the morning or the middle of the day, because I will fall asleep. And that's what happens when I sit down and chill and don't do anything. I'll fall asleep. So, and also I am averse to sitting for some reason.
Before the ADHD meds, the longest I could just sit still was doing this, or any form of podcasting really. But, I've done this the longest. So yeah, this. It's amazing to me. Like I can talk to my Auntie Nat, my mum's sister, and I used to just, put the Bluetooth on and just do the fucking chores while I'm talking to her. And now, man, I can just sit there and just focus on the. It's nice. It's nice to be able to do that.
Good. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's. I still get that. Like you'll see me fidget. I can't stop scratching my chin. But yeah, it's hard for me to sit still or all that kind of stuff. So that's another reason for the movies. Like I've got to do this and only this. You mean I can't fucking do anything for the next 2 hours? Are you serious? And mind you, because I'm glad I kind of we had a couple breaks watching this, and not because of the movie or quality of the movie or anything like that, just because hey, we got a dog, and mother-in-law broke her freaking collarbone, and she she lives with us, so check on her and stuff. But and I just to be able to do that, that's another reason probably we don't go to the movie so much. So I need to get up and do other stuff, even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes. Well, I need that.
Yeah, I mean, like sometimes I don't have time to watch a movie, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to try. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm going to put it on the TV or on my computer while I'm doing the 50 other things that I need to do. So like, that's oftentimes when I'm watching something, that's what I'm doing with it. And I think a lot of people are that way, but it's like, so I didn't give it the attention that it deserved. And, and I could tell I didn't know what the fuck was going on. After I watched it the second time, I understand why it's a great movie. I enjoyed watching it. I really like the first half, like way better than the second half. Like the first half has got me. I want to know what's going to happen. I want to know what all the drama is, and it's like, it all just stops because vampires attack.
Yeah, to be honest, like, all right, I like being a horror movie, and I like how they're using vampires and horror to kind of, do their metaphor thing and all that.
Yeah, it's invading the story, just like
me would have just been all right with just a movie about them defending the juke joint from the racists, and they get to have the juke joint for more than a night or stuff like that. I don't know. It's very rare that I watch a horror movie and think, I think I would have liked this more as a straight up drama. Yeah.
I think it does the drama way better.
Having said that, it's a really good movie. Look, we've done almost the whole episode on this bloody movie, and I think it's kind of creeping up a little higher in my estimation now that I've got, now that we've been talking about it. Even though it's not perfect, it does so much right, and yeah.
I don't need a movie to be perfect.
Nah,
You know what I mean?
not every
I
movie's
think
Suspiria 2018, but you know,
never can't get through it. Like I've tried so many times. I
I
can't get through
understand.
it. So
There's I hear two reviews for that movie. It's amazing, one of the best movies I've ever seen, or my God, this movie's boring. So I get it. Yeah, no, but I don't know if I've spoken about it. Maybe I have in reviews. I don't know if I've spoken about it on a podcast. I think there's a lot of that movie. My mum was still alive when I watched it, but I think what hit me and Michelle, so my sister listeners, hardest. So we the three of us will watch it every year, at least once, usually Halloween.
I got you.
And there's a lot of emphasis on mothers, and it might not. You might watch it and be like, I'm not sure it's hard to explain, but it really hit Michelle and I harder, and we got a deeper love for the film, I think, after Mum had passed away. And you know, like, how does someone who doesn't like the movie respond to that? You know, you can't. There's like nothing you can say. You know,
Well,
but
I would never try to argue with you
yeah,
about that movie. So
no,
I was just saying I hadn't watched it.
yeah. So I understand. You know, it's you know, and
But it's neat. I like when things you aren't expecting creep their way into your life in a meaningful way, you know, like that. It's kind of fun. There's certain books and, you know, and movies and stuff that a lot of songs that you kind of have these weird associations with, sometimes for better or for worse. And that's what art's for. So must be good art,
absolutely.
you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I think I've seen all of Luca Guadagnino's movies now, except his latest one called Challenges with Zendaya, which I plan on watching.
I hear that's a sexy movie, Luke.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Well, you know, they did another. Yeah, there's another movie called A Bigger Splash, which the movie before. That's the only horror movie he did, Suspiria. The rest are all kind of like slice of life movies in some way, you know, and sexy movies, you know. But yeah, so yeah, no. I wish, yeah, yeah. It's kind of weird. I wish it was a straight up drama because, like, that first half, you're right.
but that's okay. It's got that for me, and it's got the other stuff. I bet you kids really love that movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's going to be like a Pulp Fiction for some people. You know,
And that
like
music
maybe
scene
the first
is
time
going to
that
be iconic.
the first time that they experience a great movie, and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
in near adulthood, that's always like a big moment for a lot of people. At least for me, it was. You know, so I think this might be that movie for some people.
All
So
right.
that'll be cool.
I want to ask you a question. I don't think I've ever asked you before. We all have this story. What was your first R-rated movie you saw at the movies?
I believe it was Rain Man. Rain Man was filmed in my area. It is either whichever one came out first, that one or Top Gun. So
all right, let me change that to NC-17 then. 18 plus.
I've never seen an NC-17 movie in the theater. Maybe no, there's not very many of them, right? I mean, like Showgirls, but I didn't see that in the theater.
Yeah. Because those are our classifications are rated G, general, everyone, mostly kids. PG, M for mature, but anyone.
That's rated R, yeah.
Get them. MA.
MA.
MA is for 15 over, and then rated R, 18 plus.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you guys got a couple more classifications than we do.
Yeah. My first, I guess, 18 plus movie was Catherine Bigelow's Strange Days with Angela Bassett and Ralph Fiennes.
That's a wild movie, man.
Oh, dude, I am a huge Catherine Bigelow fan as well. And if you want to see another really good vampire movie, I don't know if you ever seen Near Dark.
No,
but
I haven't. I don't know.
Catherine Bigelow directed it. She was married to James Cameron at the time, and it came out within a year or so after Aliens. So you've got the woman who played Vasquez in it. You've got Bill Paxton. You've got Lance Henriksen, and they're a fucking team of vampires that travel around America in an RV with all the windows kind of boarded up.
I've heard of this. Okay, I know what this
Yeah.
is, but I've never seen it. Okay, yeah,
So
that sounds awesome.
I love her. I love her. She did Point Break. You've seen that, Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Zero Dark 30. Won an Oscar for it. So like, you know, all this kind of stuff. So yeah. I don't know why I got onto Catherine. Oh yeah, my first R-rated movie. Yeah. So yeah, this might be someone's first mature movie that they see, and it just sticks with them forever. I understand that absolutely. It's a good movie to be your first major tentpole adult movie to watch.
Tentpole.
For that person, you know, like
yeah. I was what I was saying is that, you know, you get to a certain age, you start experiencing art in a different way, and you start to kind of like get more of the bigger picture. You know, when you start to see movies like that, they're different. You know, and so like sometimes you'll have a movie that you see, like for me, it would have been something like Pulp Fiction or something like that, where I was like, this is a real movie. This is like, and I feel like this is my movie. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people will identify with this one that way from the younger generations. It's got a pace that's fast enough to keep up with, you know, the kids of these days, and it's also slow enough for the old people too. So it's a very broad movie. You know?
Yeah, no, definitely. Because I think a lot of newer movies have it doesn't matter whether the pace is fast or not, but there's lots of frames and there's lots to take in. My father-in-law, Mick, he can't watch Marvel movies with like 100 different thousand fucking shit on the screen, you know, like a big Endgame battle and stuff like that. It's just like, he doesn't have epilepsy or anything like that, but like he suddenly understands what it might be like to,
yeah,
it's just lots of fastness too much for, you know, to process, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, you know, I used to play a lot of video games, you know, and I used to play this game called Borderlands, and it's really colorful and it's like a comic book. It hurts my eyes. If I play it for like an hour, I feel it, man, and I'm just like, oh, it fucks my eyes up. It's the only game that does that. So I understand what.
Yeah.
What did you say his name was? Mo? Did you say
Mick? Yeah.
Mick. There we go. Mick, like on Family Ties. Hey. Luke, I saw another movie which you have not seen, but you need to see so we can discuss it. Right. It is strange. All right. You're Tim Robinson, right? This is the guy. We should probably talk about the Detroiters a little bit too, but we both watched the Detroiters. It was awesome. And we've watched I Think You Should Leave. He made a horror movie. And it's and it's flown completely under the radar. Like I saw a preview for it. And like I don't know, about 6 months ago, maybe a year ago, and I finally watched it. It's called Friendship. And man, it is wild. It is a wild movie. It's him and Paul Judd is like his neighbor, and they become friends. But he plays the same character that he plays in everything. I mean,
I'm absolutely okay with that. I don't care if he's the same character and everything. He's in here in his brain.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that guy's a funny guy. Is little buff boy host in it?
He is not, unfortunately. So, but I think, you know, but he was in an episode of Poker Face, by the way, and he was the star of the episode too. He was great. So I
think he's amazing.
That guy's good, but he's a little too. That guy, you look at him, you can't stop laughing. You just like, no matter what he's doing, I'm just laughing when that guy's on screen. Tim Robinson pulls off it's an uncomfortable.
Yeah,
like that's where the horror comes from, is the uncomfortableness of him trying to be friends with somebody.
Well, I won't even need to show Charity a trailer for that movie. We love Tim Robinson, so we're in.
Don't tell her it's a horror movie either.
All right.
Just because I don't like, I really enjoyed it, but like it would be fun to go into that not know anything about it. You know what I mean? As far as like, because it plays like his sketches, but it's a big long movie. It's an hour and a half long. So.
Have you Have you ever seen Secretary with James Spader and Maggie Gyllenhaal?
Not the whole movie, maybe just one scene.
All right. So, you know, I bombarded Charity with some of my favorite films. I'm like, you know, she's not as big a movie buff as I am, but she's got some. Secretary was a movie she really liked. And in my head, and in the trailer that I saw, it made me feel like it was going to be some kind of dark, raunchy, sexy comedy.
Sexy.
And well, there is sexiness in it. I mean, Maggie Gyllenhaal's there, but also
I told you I saw one scene of it. I told you.
Yeah. Also, James Spader. Come on, man.
Yeah. Man.
Come on, man.
There's a movie with him called Dream Lover that has him and the most beautiful woman ever from Twin Peaks.
Sherilyn Fenn?
Yeah, no, the other one, the one that I preferred. So, and I sound like an asshole, dude.
Laura Palmer?
No.
Do you mean the woman?
She worked at the Double R, and she dated Bobby. I can't remember her fucking names.
Mädchen Amick.
Yes, her Mädchen Amick. And
yeah, she's gorgeous too. Yeah,
that movie, at least one scene is incredible. So.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
James Spader's dong. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
No, I know what you mean.
Definitely.
I know what you mean. Don't you worry.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I thought it was going to be this sexy raunchy comedy. Instead, it's quite a dark film. And
is it good?
I was like, Charity. I turned to her and she's like, Charity, this isn't a comedy, isn't it? She's like, fuck no. I'm like, okay. I sat down expecting some laughs. I didn't get anything.
No,
it's a good movie though.
Okay.
But yeah. All right, for friendship. Yeah, we discovered Detroiters because we got the Paramount and the Paramount stream, and it was just up there, and we just see little buff boys host, and I think you should leave, guy. I should really get their names cemented in my head.
Is it Sam
That's
Washington?
it. And Tim Robinson, and it's a 2-season sitcom. And I'm like, is this new? Charity, is this new?
It's like 4 years old. Yeah.
2017, 2018. And I think we both had mutual steam coming out of our ears because we'd never heard of this show and we love I Think You Should Leave. Even though our favorite sketch doesn't even feature either man in it. It's at the end of season 2. Sorry, I've had coffee and I'm excited to talk to you. It's the end of season 2, and this middle-aged white dude wants to get his ears pierced.
Oh yeah.
And he acts like I would in that situation, like he's got freaking ADHD or something, because he has to watch this movie about getting your ears pierced, but it's a movie aimed at little girls going to get their ears pierced. And he just says funny shit like, oh, this is so boring. I know this already. And I felt that. But then you've got the movie for little girls intercut with this really sad old man and all that kind of stuff.
But he's saying the things that the little girls would say. You know, he's saying like, no, it hurt so bad. You know, when I was really scared too when I went. You know, it's so
yeah, and that middle-aged guy's fucking freaking out, whereas there's a little girl watching it next to him, and she's just sitting there calmly going, yeah,
right,
no problem. And you know, and yeah, so that's for some reason that's my favorite sketch of I Think You Should Leave, and coupled with Tables and the lady, that Tables lady, they're doing Shark Week,
55.
Shark Tank.
Yeah.
And she's like, I've got this amount of money and no more. So I buy a whole lot of wine because I can afford expensive wine now. Wine and popcorn. Just, yeah, I don't know. Do you have a favorite sketch from that show, by the way?
I don't know if I have a favorite one. I don't have you know, I like them a lot, but I like so much yelling. I like Detroiters much better than I Think You Should Leave, because Detroiters was structured and the jokes were, yes, all the same, but man, they were good jokes. And like, it's like every episode, they are a shitty advertising firm living in the shadow of Tim's father who used to run it. And he is played by a wrestler. So that's another reason to watch this show. Won't tell you who. it's one of the funniest cameos ever too, because it's like
it worked. Were you surprised? Like, not only was it good, it worked.
Yeah, it was really funny. So
well, wait, son, wasn't my shit in a suitcase. That makes it worse. Yeah,
it's awesome. But I just like. I like that they have other people to play off of, and the joke and like the story continues. I like Sam Washington's dad. Let's hustle. That guy's hilarious, and he's he's such a fucking asshole too. Everybody respects him and they're nice to him. But I like how every episode is a different agent or a different business they're trying to help, and there's a slight structure to it, which makes his comedy work better, in my opinion. So I think you might find Friendship to be one of the funnier things he's done, even though it's supposed to, I don't know if it's supposed to be scary or just super uncomfortable or what. It's out there though.
Sweet. Now, and I think my favorite side character in Detroiters is the news anchor.
Was it Mort Coyne or something like that? It's a real guy too. Yeah.
I actually like the ads they make. They're kind of like the low budget ads, listeners, you might see that are local, but for your local area, but late at night, like at midnight or 1 o'clock or something like that, 1 a.m. And they have a charm to them that I always really like. Like, you know, they're almost too good, but you got to make them funny, you know. So I understand, and I always really like them. Like, yeah, It's wonderful, that show. I'm sad it only went for 2 seasons because they populate it with all sorts of really fun side characters, and you never know when they're going to pop up next, and it just adds extra layers to the kind of tapestry of Detroiters.
It's got sets though, also like a sitcom. There's the bar set where they sit at the bar, and that's when the newscaster comes on. And he always goes, "I don't comment about the commercials, but that commercial was terrible." And he has his dumbass
chump of the week
or chump of the week. So they always have those sets, and then every episode they'll go outside too and go to some other place, but they have their established sets as well, which I really like. It's a multi-camera show too. It's not single camera like an old school sitcom, but it's filmed like a regular TV show. But I don't know. I thought it was fantastic. I wish there was more because I feel like it had a lot of legs. It could just kept going. I didn't know about it, so I couldn't watch it to support it when it was on. So.
No, I didn't know about it either. I feel like Charity and I felt we both had steam coming out of our ears just for the indignation of us not knowing that this existed.
Yeah, your
and then we fucking pinch
was
shit out of
also
it.
Righteous there, so we both had righteous indignation, which is where both
righteous and anger.
That's also the spaceship of Bucky O'Hare, which is a comic book character, but that's one of the best names of a spaceship ever. Righteous Indignation's hilarious.
Oh yeah, I think I'm not watching much else. I'm not gonna bore you with what the one thing I watch most of the time. It's not there's wrestling, but
you do a whole show about it.
Yeah, so. But I needed a show that was kind of chill, and it was like a fun show that I watched, and it wasn't for anything. You know, like I tend to jobify my hobbies, everyone, not in a way that makes me feel like it's work, but you know, I make my hobbies, I put it towards an aim. You know, Never Open, Mar and Chess Club. Needed something that was just loop fun, and I decided on Criminal Minds.
A lot of episodes of that, man.
Yeah, the serial killing profiling FBI show, and it's a show that, like, if it's a good episode, oh, okay, I'm watching this one. If it's not, I'm just gonna faff about while it's on, while I cook or do stuff. And I'm up to season 2, so I'm not even up to the Fat Tony seasons yet, which I'm very excited for. I like Joe Montana a lot, but I'm gonna miss Mandy Patinkin when he goes. But yeah.
I have not watched that show ever, so maybe
it is exactly what you probably think it is.
I know
it's like
police procedural.
American police procedurals, a dime a dozen. I think a part of me chose it too because I know my mum loved it. So so maybe that's another reason. Just for that. I know I'm a sappy motherfucker sometimes, but that's okay. That's all right. That's about all I've been watching. Yeah, a bit of Criminal Minds, lots of Doctor Who. Don't need to bring that up on this podcast.
There's no good shows on right now except for one, and it's 9 Perfect Strangers season 2 is out.
It's good, is it?
Fucking fantastic. The first season,
wonderful,
and the second season's great too. I want to know what's going to happen. I really want to know.
I looked at the cast list for season 2, and it looks solid. I'm just kind of sad that Michael Shannon's not in season 2 as well. It wouldn't have worked, but
no.
I love him, and also Samara Weaving. I've got a crush on her as well. So, but
well, have you seen the show Schitt's Creek?
I have not.
Oh man, it's so funny, Luke. So funny. One of the main characters on that show is in the season of 9 Perfect Strangers, and she's fucking amazing. It's Alexa from Schitt's Creek. It's fantastic.
So it's, I know Catherine O'Hare and Eugene Levy, and I love Catherine. I love both those people, but I love Catherine O'Hare. So she's the mum in that, I think.
Yeah, it's rich family moves in. They somehow lose all their money and have to move into a hotel, and it's fucking hilarious. I know, it's so funny. I tried to watch it 3 times before I successfully watched it. And got into it, but it's a very funny show. It's one of the funny. It's like, it's right up there with your Offices or what's the other one that everybody loves?
Parks and Recreation.
Or Arrested Development. It's more like that probably, I would say. So, but it's a great show.
I love a lot of those shows, and I love Parks and Recreation, but I think my favorite of all those kind of shows, I don't know why, but Dirty Rock, I love Dirty Rock. TV on, pornography. And every now and again, I will still break out for no reason. Werewolf bar mitzvah, spooky, scary. Boys becoming wolves.
I watched it one time.
Wolves becoming men.
When it was on, so I don't remember a lot of the jokes. Maybe I need to go back and watch that again because I remember really liking it too. It was funny.
Yeah. So I'm one of those rare people. Charity and I watch it together. We still like and love. We know it's bad most of the time, or patchy, but we still are big fans of Saturday Night Live. So we'll watch that every week when it's on, and we're huge Tina Fey fans as well. So that Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt by Tina Fey as well, pretty good.
I've never watched that. People
Karate.
like that a lot. I've never watched it.
That's all right. Well, obviously people whose opinions you think is ass gravy told you it was good and you didn't bother watching it. So
you've recommended 500 things to me.
Dude.
Ian never recommends anything. So when he does, I listen. So
No, I know that feeling. I do the same thing with Ian. Yeah. No, yeah.
Can't believe that lady tried to spoil it. She was drinking tequila on a Sunday in the middle of the day.
What you try to spoil?
Sinners.
Man.
The movie that Ian recommended to.
Everyone's just decided, Mr. Andy, have you seen Sinners? No. Here's the fucking synopsis of Sinners. Did you know that vampires were in it? Yeah, I did, motherfucker. Shut up.
Well, I do now. That was a weird day, man. Weird day.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of days we have over here in America. They're weird. Almost every single one of them.
I still think you guys never stop being the Wild West in a way, It's a wild place, always wild news, and it's I always have that boxing promoter's voice in my head. Only in America.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Don King.
Don King, that's right.
Yeah.
So, and there's good bits and bad bits. By the way, just sort out your fucking health system. Jesus Christ. I'm not even going to tell you how much my ADHD meds cost. I might make you weep on podcasts. So,
I'm happy that you have health care.
Yeah.
That's good.
I want you guys to have it, man.
Me too.
Seriously.
I would like that, but we're not. It's not going to happen. I mean, basic human rights can't even get those for some people. So we're not getting health care. So, Yeah, so I've been watching wrestling a lot. I've been watching that Nine Perfect Stranger show, and I've been searching for other things to watch. You know, that's how I found Detroiters. It's funny, we were both watching that around the same time, just
Yeah.
by osmosis. But I'm there is also a bunch of New Japan news, but we're not going to talk about any of it here. So
Nah,
we'll talk about it on the New Japan podcast that isn't this. So
absolutely. And I guess that's what happens when I take notes about stuff to talk about on the show. My ADHD side comes out, and I'm bouncing from thing to thing. You're very patient with me, and I do appreciate that. So yeah, that was man. For a movie, we were like, it was good, but was it that good? There must be
there's a
something
lot
to
to
it. If
talk
we
about
spoke for
with it.
about 40
Yeah.
minutes for
Well,
it,
there's
so
a lot of things to it, certainly. You know, it's a very good movie. But
And-
Luke, do you want to read a wrestler diary?
I absolutely do. Now,
The triumphant return of Wrestler Diaries.
oh
the
yeah.
podcast.
So because it's the triumphant return, I don't have any of the classics here. All right. I'm going to give you the choice because it's the triumphant return. We've got one by Fujita, we've got a Naito, we've got an Akira, we've got a Shooter, and we've got a Tanahashi.
Man, fuck Naito. Actually, I kind of want to hear that one. This would be the last Naito one, right?
It might be.
Yeah.
All right. It's episode 361.
Buenos noches.
There we go. Los Ingobernables de Japón is what it's called. Dated at April 18th, 2025. All right. First of all, let me give you an excuse for the delay in updating this diary. Dude, you're Naito. If anyone can get away with shirking off their diary duties, that would be so Naito. Like, it's fine, dude. Like, anyway. I've been incredibly busy these past few days, and I completely forgot to update my diary. I only realized it at 9:16 p.m. yesterday night, April 17th. Damn. I like the exact time of it too.
Yeah,
All right.
very precise.
Damn. I completely forgot, but I still have 2 hours left. Nah, it's impossible. That was quick, lol. I sent a line message to the guy in charge of the diaries. I forgot to write my diary. What should I do? Skip the week? 4 minutes later, I got a reply. I would appreciate it if you could just write it, even if you missed the deadline.
Damn.
In other,
he was hoping he'd say, well, next time. That's what he was hoping.
I had a theory that this was Chris Charlton that was behind these. Maybe he translates them or something. But I don't imagine Chris going like, write it anyway. I just imagine Naito dunking him in the toilet or something.
Someone probably said, well, you can turn it in later. And Naito said, well, the guy said, write it anyway, even if it's late. You know what I mean? So we're hearing this through, the spread open eye of Naito. So it's going to be filtered through his brain.
Was I being too kind? Was I being kind to the editor? No, I was just too tired to start writing it at the time of night, lol. Basically, it takes me 2 to 3 hours to write this diary, for one. Also, on the day, I was supposed to write it yesterday. We LIJ members meet at the Yakiniku restaurant in Shinjuku and ate yakiniku together. I know I do Duolingos, but I will come across Japanese words I haven't seen before, and I'm like, fuck. Titan and Bushi were absent. I mean, same as Bushi wasn't there.
They were
so it was just the 4 of us: Lita, Takagi, Yota, and Naito at the yakiniku party. I didn't want to spend the whole party just tapping away on my phone in silence. Well, it probably wouldn't have been a problem if I hadn't joined the conversation and just kept tapping away on my phone. Since Shingo Takagi talks so much, he could spend the entire evening just talking to himself. Lol.
Sounds like he's sick at LIJ.
And he's a shit talker. He's a bit of a shit stirrer too. He's gonna poke the bears. He's gonna talk some smack. That's the kind of The memorable events of the past 2 weeks are: I went to the Gifu Nagawara Baseball Stadium, Gifu Shin Nagawara Baseball Stadium, on Tuesday, April 8th. I've been to this baseball stadium twice in 2023, Chunichi versus Hiroshima and Giants versus Hiroshima, to watch games. And it had a really good atmosphere, so I wanted to go watch it again. However, I was in Hiroshima promoting the April 26th Hiroshima Sun Plaza Hall show until Is this a guy who just likes to write everything out each time rather than abbreviate because he wants to make the fucking diary word count?
Yeah, and he's just telling us what he did. That's it.
Oh,
like
dude, he's
there's no
itemizing the shit out of
flourish.
it.
This is
Yeah.
trying to get the
All right,
font
motherfucker.
big.
I missed the deadline, but fine. Here's your diary, bitch. Yeah. So I had to really hurry. After the promotional activity was over, I hurriedly got to the Shinkansen from Hiroshima Station, changed to the Hikari at Shin Osaka Station, and got off at the Gifu Hiroshima Station. You're taking the piss, Naito. I know what you're doing. From there, I took a taxi to Gifu Shin Nagawara Baseball Stadium. He writes it all out every time. Although I couldn't make it in time for the start of the game, 1800, I was able to get to my seat around 1830. He's even military timing it too to add the extra digit. I really love watching baseball at outdoor stadiums. Of course, baseball inside a dome stadium is safer because you don't have to worry about the weather or temperature. But there's something about watching baseball outside, especially in smaller towns. Maybe it reminds me of the summer. I had a great time as usual. I went to the Ikediyama for the first time in several years. Was it about 15 years ago? The day after I watched baseball at Gifu Shin Nagawara Baseball Stadium. I rented a car and drove around Gifu Prefecture. I went to the para hang glider launch base at Ikediyama, Ibi District, Gifu Prefecture, somewhere I had last been to a long time ago. I really like the view from here. Although I'd last been here about 15 years ago, I still remembered it and figured it must have been a great place to relax and eat my bento. I've never seen it, but heard the night view is also very beautiful. I think I'll come back again when I have time. I'll just bring some snacks and just relax.
Wow.
Waffles I had at...
Naito's trying to bore our one listener. You know, like, damn.
Charity stop because this is New Japan related.
I picked the wrong one. My bad.
Dude, this is Great Khan link too, you fucking asshole. Waffles I had at because we know what he's doing, and now like it's just going to be a lot of that. Waffles I had at a hotel in Chicago. In American hotels, it is common to have make your own waffle machines in the breakfast hotels. I love making waffles with them. I was in Chicago for 4 days this time and had 3 chances to eat breakfast. So of course I went and made waffles all 3 times. It's an experience I've never had in Japanese hotels, so I really look forward to making them and get up early every morning just to make them. Are there any hotels in Japan that have them? If you know of any, please let me know. I'll stay there just for the machine. Dude, buy one. Yeah. The biggest event, and he doesn't want to add too much beef, I guess.
That's like a vacation thing, you know?
So. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. The biggest event in these past 2 weeks was the announcement of my leaving the promotion. All right. On the evening of the 15th, I decided to leave New Japan Pro Wrestling. I found out in the middle of the night that the announcement will be made tomorrow, the 16th. And I was super nervous for the next 12 hours or so. I did tell my mom and dad before the announcement, but since it was already the middle of the night, I just sent them a message online rather than calling them. I said that my departure would be announced tomorrow afternoon. They were probably surprised because I had never once consulted them about it. But we Naitos have always been pretty laid back.
Yeah.
When I was younger, my father always used to tell me to figure things out for myself. That said, this independent attitude of ours has meant that my family has never pressured me to change my mind. That's how I've been raised these past 42 years. Thanks. Since the announcement, I've been getting a ton of people contacting me. Phone calls, emails, online. I'm feeling happy about the reaction, but my mind's made up. Right now, the morning of April 18th, I'm writing this diary entry while riding the Shinkansen heading west to a place where the people I really want to talk to about this live. My final tour with New Japan Pro Wrestling is about to begin. I wonder how I'll be feeling after the Fukuoka tournament on May the 4th. I'm excited but also anxious. I have no regrets. 12 shows left. Be sure to come and see Tetsuya Naito standing in the New Japan Pro Wrestling ring for what will likely be his last time.
Jeez.
He started with a fucking joke that went on too long, and then he bummed the hell out of us by reminding us that he's no longer... I mean, I know we weren't 100% loving Naito the last year, but we still liked enough of him to be invested in everything he did. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the waffle maker thing was funny,
Yeah.
but we could tell. It's funny. He knew people were going to be reading this, wondering his thoughts on the what you fuck and on leaving, and he just went, "Well, I'm gonna tell you a bunch of details about some bullshit first."
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
Yeah. No, it was amusing, and it still holds up that all the wrestlers we think are cool write boring diaries.
That's true.
And all the wrestlers we rag on mercilessly, except for Wato. Wato's the exception, because he's cool and he does do good diaries.
Yeah.
But all the wrestlers we rag on mercilessly have created some of the funniest moments on the Never Open podcast. So, yeah, there's that. So, yeah, that was probably his last diary as well. And I think it's the first one I've ever read. And Triumphant Return. Dude, that Triumphant Return was about as good as Doki's Triumphant Return.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah. Yeah. Oh, man. It's nice to talk to you a couple days in a row and do one serious show where it's like, New Japan's back, yeah, and then have no format at all and just shoot the shit. I'm glad that these have stayed a thing for us, the Never Realms.
Formats for pussies.
Yeah. So yeah. I don't know. It's what? This is episode 316. Never Open Podcast 316
That's
says
true.
we just kick your ass.
Yeah, we just read the Bible.
Yeah, episode 316, and I fucking still love doing this, man. It's awesome.